It's Thanksgiving week. We got to go ahead and end this debate now. All right. In the comments, in the Booster Club, it may need to be the poll. All right. What is the best type of turkey? I think it's pretty simple. It's deep fried Cajun turkey. All right. It's injected with Creole butter. You deep fry it in peanut oil. You take that bad boy out, and it is absolute deliciousness at a level I can't even begin to start to understand nor explain. Had it one time, never not having it again. I'm going to be honest with you. When I go places and it's regular turkey, I'm pretending to like it.
Really?
I'll just go and say I'm pretending to like it.
I'm pretending
to like it. Out of the oven. I'm pretending to like it.
Isn't there something to be said for the classic, the status quo?
Well, yeah, you know, that's what they said about, you know, the Model T Ford. Okay, but you know what? I'd rather have an F-250. All right? Sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. It's 2022. Why are we not all eating deep fried turkeys? Why are we not? We got to keep elevating. And if you don't like deep fried turkeys, I need an explanation why, and also I need to see your passport.
I got an important call last night. Mother-in-law called me up.
Oh, that is an important call.
Because last year she did a turkey in the oven. I did a turkey on Mr. Richards' Big Green Egg. She said, it got rave reviews. Do you want to do another turkey this year? Apparently, this is a big milestone.
I know you guys are far down the road. You're married, live in a house together, second child's on the way. But that right there.
But this isn't a Sunday cookout where you mess it up and order
let me get there. That when the mother-in-law asks you, puts it on you, hey, guess what? It's 4th and 8. You're in the game.
You talking about responsibility? You can't just order Chinese food after you mess this up.
No. You know, you'll never live it down.
It's ruined.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
You feel good about it?
Rise to expectations.
Are you prepping already?
Shoulders. I have thought about.
Look, just remember, you played in the big house, baby. Over 100,000. Over 100,000.
I need you there.
Look, you know me. I won't be that far away from you.
Well, you won't eat the turkey because it'll just be off the grill.
I'll pretend to like it as much as I'd be liking the deep fried Cajun turkey. But it's just the truth. Blaine, you grew up with it. You know
deep fried turkey is good. I mean, baked turkey is good. Like,
wait.
Turkey's good. Like,
did you just say that baked turkey and deep fried turkey are on the same level?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
for sure.
That's disgusting.
You're disgusting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right. It's disgusting. At this point, hold on. Hello? Yeah, it's disgusting. We're all disgusted. Come look at me. Disgusted.
Have you ever had deep fried turkey, David?
No, I told you we're getting the propane tank from Cinch,
That's right.
and then you're going to come over and help me do it.
I'll fix
with
it.
the honey bun.
Can I pump in?
Can I
pump in crowd noise? Can I pump in crowd noise while you're cooking it? I'll be up there heckling. It's like, you're overcooking it. You're overcooking it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins of turkey cooking, not mid.
It's mid. You wanted to say it's mid?
Nope.
Yeah, you did.
Nope.
Oh,
sub-mid after yesterday.
8-2. Tennessee star quarterback Hendon Hooker is going to miss the remainder of the season with a torn ACL. USC climbs into the AP top 5 for the first time since 2017, and Cordarrelle Patterson sets the NFL record for kickoff return touchdowns at 9. That's right, it's special teams talk. I'm Jake Crane, and this is Crane & Company. Whenever a program takes that big leap to prominence or we see a traditional power get resurrected, it's always a team effort. But there are some significant individuals who've helped along the way. Now, when looking at Tennessee's run this year and their first appearance as a legitimate contender in some time, it would be crazy not to notice the contributions of quarterback Hendon Hooker. And after it was announced that his season would end due to a torn ACL, I thought it was only fitting to highlight his part in bringing the Vols back to national relevance. Now, his outstanding play this year was not only surprising, it gave hope to a fan base that had been down and out for a while, hadn't beaten their rivals in what felt like a millennia, and let head coach Josh Heupel not worry about the most important position on the field as he put the pieces around him. Not only did he live up to the hype this year, he exceeded it. Through almost 11 games, he threw for over 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions, and had a QBR of 89.6. And to put that in perspective, perfect is 100, average is 50. But his biggest contributions was his leadership. He stepped up in big games and was a hell of a role model on and off the field. Now, while the Vols won't be winning a national championship or the SEC championship this season, he left a roadmap for the next guy, and it showed it could still be done on Rocky Top. So I want to personally congratulate Hendon on a great career, both on and off the field. I'm going to bring in former Michigan quarterback, former Heisman candidate, and potential turkey cooking savant, thanks to his mother-in-law, David Cohn, my brother.
Used car salesman.
Western State.
Rick Thompson, how you doing? We got a Mitsubishi in the parking lot.
That's exactly right.
All right.
You're the Victor Chouse of the show.
I love the stash.
Guys, you know, it's sad to see Hendon go out with a torn ACL like this, and, you know, South Carolina just beat them to a pulp, and we're going to get into that. But it was fun seeing, and it's good for college football, as much as Blaine makes fun of me for saying that, seeing a team that hasn't been relevant, that has the loyalty in the fan base, that has the resources and the tradition of Tennessee get back to where they're at. It's a good, like, kind of changing of the guard a little bit, and it's good, like I said, for the game overall. But, you know, as good as Hendon was on the field, and this was a common case, or not really a common case, but a case of the perfect player coming in at the perfect time in the perfect system with Josh Heupel, Hendon Hooker, and Tennessee. And so I know Tennessee fans, it didn't end up how you wanted it, but look at recruiting, what it did for it. Look at the atmospheres with College Game Day. You beat Alabama finally. You beat Florida finally. I know you're upset this week, and you should be upset. I get it. The way they played against South Carolina was unacceptable for the position that they're in. But don't allow that to not let you see the beach through the forest. Tennessee is back competing. Tennessee is no longer a joke. They're no longer a doormat. And if you're on Rocky Top, you ought to be singing Hendon Hooker's praises this week, as hard as that sounds.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, 48 hours ago, Tennessee fans thought that they could still make it to the college football playoff, perhaps win a national championship, and Hendon Hooker could still walk away with the Heisman Trophy. None of those things are going to happen now, and Hendon Hooker will miss the rest of the season. But, man, this kid is an absolute star. And I'm not talking about just on the field, somebody who played great football, but who had character issues. On and off the field, he's represented this state and this program to the highest of his capabilities. And just like you said, this is a program for 20 years, ever since Philip Fulmer was gone, has struggled to like find an identity as a school. You've had NCAA sanctions. You've had, hadn't been able to get those top recruits in while Georgia and Florida and Alabama and these other schools have had success. What's happened this season is still very, very special. And I think that this will start to be the new baseline for Tennessee. At least I hope so as we move forward. And Hendon Hooker will always be a special part of that rebuild, and he'll never be forgotten in this state. Also, to the touchdown to interception ratio, I just have to say this. Did you say, so 29 touchdowns to 2 interceptions?
27 to 2.
27 to 2. And he's not the only one.
QBR.
Caleb Williams is even more than that right now. Drake, man, I just have to say something real quick as a quarterback. It used to be when I was playing, if you were 3-1 in touchdowns to interceptions, that was really good. And if you were any more than that, like 4-1, you were just legendary. If you threw 40 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. What these kids are doing these days, you throw 27 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. It really is magnificent. And you can talk about game planning or, having like an air raid type offense, West Coast system where you're not throwing the ball downfield. I don't care if you're throwing it from me to you.
Yeah.
That few interceptions.
To put that in perspective, that's like 9.5 to 1.
It's unbelievable.
It's incredible. That, especially with the way defenses nowadays are able to disguise coverages and do different things. And game planning is so elevated now with the way film's able to get spliced and broken down. It's not even spliced anymore. It's cut. But Blaine, we look at quarterbacks in the transfer portal, and you see some good and some bad. This is a case of the transfer portal, a episode of good from the transfer portal, you could say, coming from Virginia Tech, where you make that move to Tennessee. You're behind Joe Milton, who just closes his eyes and throws it as far as he can, and you come in and you're able to help resurrect a program like this. Just overall, your thoughts on Hendon?
Well, the thing about Hendon Hooker, one is, he's been beating the odds since through high school. When he was at Virginia Tech, he was a backup, had to win a starting job. Then he moved to transfer to Tennessee, was a backup, had to win the starting job. Not only a great football player, y'all mentioned, just a great leader of men. Never heard any problems coming out of Hendon Hooker. What a guy to watch. And this is the type of a player from 5 years now, 6 years from now, who laid the foundation, was one of the bricks who laid the foundation to get you where you need to be. And you can see Tennessee, you can see the excitement behind it. You hate to see it. Hendon, get healthy, man. I can't wait to watch you play in the NFL, dude, and have you on my fantasy team one day.
Will he have success in the NFL?
I think so.
It's hard to me, you see the talent. I think it's hard for a guy like that not to have success with the way he operates. Now, will he be a Pro Bowler? Will he be what Bryce Young may be or Caleb Williams may be? That's going to be a little bit tougher. I think the system was perfect for him as well. But, I mean, Hendon has shown the ability to affect all 3 layers of the field throwing it. Obviously, we know from an IQ standpoint, it's really high. And he's agile enough to move and extend the play and things like that. So I'm going to be very interested to see it. I hate he's not able to go to the Senior Bowl. I hate he's not able to be able to get those important practices in to maybe move up that board a little bit. But we have not heard the last of Hendon Hooker.
It's going to be a steal.
Yeah, but speaking of turkeys, speaking of frying turkeys, let's talk about our friends over at Cinch. If you go online right now to cinch.com, okay, it's CYNCH.com, or you download their app to order, new customers can get their first propane tank exchange for just $10 with our promo code BOOSTER. All right, what Cinch is they're a propane tank delivery service. They deliver it to your house, so you don't have to go out anymore. Again, you can exchange it as well. It's very easy. We know a lot of things are being delivered nowadays without even having to leave the house. Now you can hang around the family even more, not have to go out. They deliver on your schedule. There's no long-term commitment. You don't have to have a subscription or give your firstborn son to them to be able to afford it. It's unbelievably easy. The delivery is completely contactless. All right, and you don't even have to be home to receive the delivery. Okay, there's a reason they call it Cinch. Okay, there's a reason that they call it that. You choose your delivery date, and Cinch handles the rest. So go online to cinch.com or download the Cinch app. Use promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, to get your first tank exchange for just $10. All right? That's CYNCH.com with promo code BOOSTER. This is a limited time offer, guys. Thanksgiving's right around the corner, and you must live within a Cinch service area to redeem it. So visit cinch.com/offer for details. I'm going to use it. He's going to use it. Blaine's going to use it. You definitely need to use it. That's cinch.com and use our promo code. Blaine, Booster Club. What's
All right,
going down?
let's get it started. Let's get this Monday rolling a little bit. Hunter Fournette, not Leonard Fournette.
Okay.
Maybe Leonard Fournette, but not Hunter.
Nobody really knows.
$10 donation. He says, hope you enjoyed every last one of those 63-point Vols fans, just like a typical Vols team, to lose when it matters.
Well, I mean, again, Tennessee hasn't been to the point really where it's mattered if they lost, other than just pride. We're going to get to best and worst. I want to save what we're going to say about South Carolina, because if I'm a South Carolina fan right now, I want to dive into it. I'm kind of looking over both shoulders, like kind of what's going on. We're going to get to the South Carolina game in a second.
All right, Jimbo Eagle, $10 donation says that's unfortunate for Hendon. He had one hell of a year. On the flip side, get ready for the upset of the year, Vandy over Tennessee. Hashtag Vandy has expectations. Hashtag stop Vandy corn hate.
Stop co-opting my movement.
Vandy corn's terrible.
That's pretty
Vandy
good.
On the cover.
I want to go ahead and say this. Now that Vanderbilt has won 2 SEC games in a row, and it looks like Clark Lee is figuring it out, now Vandy has expectations. Coming into this, they didn't have expectations.
Yes,
Let's not pretend like they did.
They did.
Let's not pretend like they did. Okay, you can go over there and play dress up, build a fort in your house, and pretend like they did, but they really didn't. People wouldn't even show up to the game unless they thought they had a chance. Now, here's the problem for Clark Lee. Now you've run into a problem because you've won 2 in a row, including at Kentucky, and you just beat Florida in football at Vanderbilt. Now, next year, welcome to Expectation City. And I'm going to say this again.
Next week.
Yeah.
Why didn't we beat Tennessee?
Yeah, that's exactly right. But here's my thing. Moved to Marietta. I said this yesterday. Moved to Marietta. Never lived in Georgia in my life last year. Georgia wins the Natty for the first time in 40 years. The Braves won the World Series. Move up here to Nashville. Tennessee, back to relevance for the first time ever. And Vanderbilt's 4-6 with 2 wins in the SEC. I'm starting to believe it's me.
I was thinking about this last night. Because not only that, everything you just mentioned, after you moved to Georgia, Braves won the World Series, Tennessee, but since I've known you, Michigan made the playoff for the first time, and now they're in the hunt.
Am I the golden goose?
You're the golden goose.
You know how they say if you're sitting around the table and
See, I don't like this.
You don't get the joke. It's probably about you.
Because only one person up here has believed in Vandy.
No, we're not talking
only one person up here. No.
I'm the one. I was the pro Vandy guy during the summer. You were trying to kick him out of
hilarious. Y'all two would sit there and laugh. You would laugh about Vandy. It's literally on tape. You'd sit there and laugh. No expectations. There's one person on this set who rode with Vandy. The Booster Club knows, and it's me.
Get out of here.
Anybody,
This new transition for Blaine.
wants to say the reason Vandy's winning, it's probably because the guy up there who said they've had expectations.
There's a reason you're the director of propaganda.
Yeah.
There's a reason you're the director of propaganda.
Well,
I watched
the
you sit in
truth.
there in that same Mr. Rogers jacket and tell me that Vandy needs to be kicked out of the SEC.
That's
I didn't
true.
say they
That's
were
true.
good, but I said they had expectations. I said they had expectations.
We'll roll the tape.
Roll the tape.
Yeah.
Oh,
What did
please.
Jonah Hill say in
Someone bring me
Superbad?
some popcorn and a $14 Coke, and let's roll the tape.
Like Lane Kiffin's popcorn?
Please, gosh.
Oh, we'll get to that. What else in the booth?
Old World Skull 88 says $5 donation.
Here we
Appreciate
go.
it there, brother. My compromise put USC in the college football playoff this year. If they lose by more than 3 scores to an SEC team, all Pac-12 teams are banned from the college football playoff.
Wow, you're going straight Slytherin.
Look, I love it.
Look, again, it's one ring to rule them all, and in darkness shall bind them.
Please keep up the Kirk Cousins hate, guys. You know I'm always down for that.
No.
Nola P says, as a college football fan that is down on the NFL due to my Saints looking like garbage, this is my favorite football weekend. College football all day, Friday and Saturday. Sign me.
Without a doubt. By the way, hey, remember we told you about Trap Weekend last week, the biggest Trap Weekend of the year, and you saw it, right? Michigan squeaks by Illinois. I wouldn't call TCU Baylor a trap game because you got Iowa State on the horizon.
Yeah.
It's Spider-Man GIF with Iowa State and Baylor pointing at each other. You look at, obviously, what happened with Tennessee. That's not a trap game because Vanderbilt was next. Even say what you want, it's still Vanderbilt. But looking around the country, man, you had some tight games. North Carolina, who plays NC State next week, falls at home to Georgia Tech, and I think that's a great segue, Coneth, into best and worst.
Best and worst. Who's your best?
My best, I'll start with college, Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, I don't know how it's not that he's got to be the leader for the Heisman right now, the front runner for the Heisman. Say what you want about USC's schedule, which we've talked about that a lot, but Caleb Williams right now deserves to be the leader for the Heisman. He goes 32 for 43, 470 yards through the air with 2 touchdowns, had 8 carries for 33 yards and a touchdown as well. And it's the way that he's doing it. You know, I talk about from a defensive perspective. You know, we talk about quarterbacks that are on time, right? They're on schedule. You're getting the slant out quick enough. You're releasing the fade with enough depth and getting rid of it quick enough. There's also an art to extending the play and turning it into a scramble drill. Nothing scared me more as a defensive coach than when the play would break down and you had an athletic quarterback that could throw it good enough on the run because everything turns into man and it's typically from a disadvantageous situation. We used to say, you know, you have to glue onto a receiver. You may be in zone, we may be running quarters, we may be running cover 6, we may be running cover 2, whatever you want to call it. At that point, it turns into man. And when you have guys like USC does that are experienced, like Jordan Addison and Mario Williams Jr., and these guys that are used to getting out there and running around, that's how big plays happen, that you can't sit up and say, all right, guys, you play this leverage, you're going to play at this depth, look for this. This is what we've seen on the self-scout. Because when the play breaks down, it's just a free-for-all. It turns into that jackpot game where the ball gets thrown up. You say, all right, 400, whoever catches it or whatever. So Caleb Williams, to me, what he does, extending the play is the only chance I think if USC does get in that Final Four and runs up against a Georgia or a Michigan or Ohio State, somebody like that, to be able to score the type points that they're scoring. But I did want to give a shout out to Caleb Williams. Was going to make him my Witch of the Week, but I got another person for that. But give me Caleb Williams as my best. My worst, North Carolina. And I said this yesterday, look, you were living on borrowed time. I think you wasted a great opportunity. You've had a lot of breaks go your way, including the App State game, which, you know, we can relive. It's crazy to think about that now that we're in rivalry week, the last week of the regular season. But North Carolina had a golden chance with NC State just not being able to score next week. A game in which you should win, and I believe it's at home. You let a full-time head coachless Georgia Tech team come in there and come back and beat you and eliminate you from the playoffs. That's unacceptable to me from a team that knows they were living on borrowed time, but it's set up perfectly for you. A down Georgia Tech team, an NC State team without a quarterback really that provides no threat on offense. Defensively, they're not bad, but that dam would break eventually with Drake May. Then you'd have a chance to go beat Clemson and make it to the playoff. But you absolutely blew that opportunity, like when Billy Madison let that kid call Veronica Vaughn in the kitchen. We all remembered it. Remember, you were the kid from Billy Madison. I just hope you guys don't forget it. What's your best and worst from college?
My best of the weekend has to be South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina boys top 5 victory. Shane Beamer's signature win, 63-18. It's not like South Carolina just kept it close and
wasn't like it was lucky.
Figured out a way in the fourth to go for 2 instead of kicking a PAT to tie it and win the football game. No, it's 63-18. And you know what's crazy? South Carolina hasn't been involved in a lead change this year. The games they've lost, they've been losing the entire game. The games they've won, they've been winning the entire game. Yeah, it's crazy. Spencer Rattler, 438 through the air, 6 touchdowns. South Carolina had 606 yards of total offense.
Yeah, if I'm a South Carolina fan, here's what I think. On one hand, it's like the angel and the devil on the shoulder, right? Like you have on each shoulder. On one hand, I look to my left, and I super ecstatic by the way we played. Huge win over Tennessee. A lot of comparisons to Shane Beamer and Josh Heupel. Both took over programs kind of in similar footing. And obviously Josh and what Tennessee had done compared to what South Carolina had done. But then on the other hand, I'm like, where the hell has this been? Where has this Spencer Rattler been? Yeah. Where has this Marcus Satterfield or whoever the hell was calling plays?
Yeah.
That South Carolina, that was dominant. Dominant. We talk about, it's hard to get your guys up to play as well as they can consistently throughout the year. That is as good as that South Carolina team could play with that personnel. I love what they did with Jaheim Bell. We've seen him play some running back. I love the imagination. But if I'm a South Carolina fan, it's 50% jubilation and 50% confusion. Like how do we go from playing like we did against Florida to like this?
Yeah.
To like this? It's that the choppy inconsistency that Shane's working to try and flatten out. But if you're a South Carolina fan, you talk about momentum going into the offseason. What if I would have told you last Wednesday that toward the end of the season, South Carolina would have more momentum going into the offseason than maybe Tennessee would have? You looked at me like I was crazy. Now, will that be true? We're going to see. South Carolina's got to go play at Clemson, a place that's very hard to play. I would be shocked if we saw that same performance from South Carolina from last week or last Saturday, this week at Clemson. It's very hard to duplicate that. But they don't have to duplicate that. You just got to get close to that because that was an all-around beatdown. I was shocked.
That allows a great recruiter, Shane Beamer, to go on the recruiting trail and do what he does best. My worst from the weekend has to be Ole Miss. Ole Miss losing to Arkansas 42-27, and it wasn't really even that close. I mean, they scored 21 in the fourth even to get it to 27 there. This is a team that started 7-0. Okay, we started hearing a lot of rumors about Lane Kiffin potentially taking the Auburn job. They've dropped 3 out of their last 4, and now this could go one of two ways. There's a big difference between 8-5 and 10-3. Now you're going to have the Egg Bowl. Going to face off against Mike Leach at Mississippi State, and then you're going to be bowl eligible. I don't know what's going to happen with Lane Kiffin. I don't know what's in his future. A 10-win season is still out there. Yeah. We knew the back half of their schedule was backloaded. 10-win season is still out there, or you could go 8-5. How's the team going to respond?
Let me ask you this. Can you pull up their schedule? Because you made this point earlier in the year. And I'm always going to give teams benefit of the doubt that are winning. But if you really look this year, and there's, I guess, social media, us and Ole Miss fans have been beefing because we tell the truth, I guess. But let's look at that schedule. Who has Ole Miss beaten that's good?
Troy, Central Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Tulsa, Kentucky. There was their big win there. Vanderbilt, Auburn. Okay, that was the 7-0 stretch. Then at LSU, lost. At Texas A&M, won. Alabama home, lost. At Arkansas, lost.
Have they beaten a team with a win? Like what? I know Kentucky's what? Are they 6-5?
Kentucky was ranked 7 when Ole Miss won, but right now Kentucky is 6-5.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're not 20.
Maybe it was fool's gold, man. I mean, maybe it really was. Let's be honest. Maybe it was fool's gold. You lost to Bama. You lost to LSU. You beat a bad A&M team that was up 10-3 over UMass. It's got the word ass in their name. That's how bad they are. And then you beat a bad Auburn team. I mean, I'm just looking around like, okay, who's legitimate? You beat on there.
And they still had 2 200-yard rushers in the game.
Yeah. Well, offense, I'm never worried about offense with Lane Kiffin, but maybe we're looking at Ole Miss, and now I'm looking at Mississippi State, who's got to go to Ole Miss. It's an interesting time in the state of Mississippi, fellas. It's a very interesting time.
Maybe it's time for Lane, Maybe it's time.
What's your best and worst?
My best and worst? Well, I mean, obviously my best is a team I've rode with from the start, and that's Vandy. Yes, sir. Did it again, guys. You know why they did it? Because they expect to win. Delusional expectations. That's what they have. That's what you got to have. All right? That's what you got to have if you want to ever make it to the tippy top. All right? Right now, Vandy's on the tippy top looking down. Florida, AR-15. Yeah, right. Mike Wright, 3 touchdown passes. All right? Yeah. Vandy, over 100 yards on the ground. Vandy's out here whipping people's ass up front. Florida, welcome to the Thunderdome, buddy. Who's this? I'm Flaming Dragon. Hang up the phone. Easy money. Vandy, keep it going. Now Joe Milton's at quarterback versus Tennessee. Come on now. There's a chance, all right?
Is it at Vandy?
There's a chance.
Is the game at Vanderbilt?
Joe Milton can't throw it from me to you, David, without breaking all your fingers.
Yeah.
Okay? So, and
he threw a ball 100 yards there.
Yeah, we just saw that defense get
at
ran.
Vandy.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Oh, no,
something's
David.
in the air.
If this happens,
Something's in the air.
Vanderbilt beats Tennessee after the first time they've been ranked number 1 in the country in the
And I'm sure Vandy will just find a little snippet from me, the one bad thing I said about
They'll
them, and put
CNN
it
you?
on here.
Oh, they're going to
On
see
Twitter,
you?
for sure. That's a thing now. But hey, congrats, Vandy. Keep it up. Clark Lee, Professor X, really getting it done. Coach of the year?
Putting on Cerebro, figuring it out.
I mean, Coach of the year? I mean, who knows? My worst, guys, Cameron Rising. Just the one thing you go back to last year with Cameron Rising, like he made big plays in big moments to win big games. And this year he's doing the complete opposite.
Going all the way back to Florida.
You go back to all the way back to the Florida game, throwing that pick in the red zone. Red zone, late in games, he has been really bad. You look against Oregon through 3 interceptions. QBR was really bad. And on a 4th and 2, their last drive, really where they could get back, tie it up, or score a touchdown and kind of go up. 4th and 2, great play call, right? Little pick play to the tight end, wide open. He puts it on just absolute little string and just dives it right in the dirt. He just hadn't been playing well, and I expected a lot more from him.
Well, if you look at the difference in the Utah and the Oregon game and the USC-UCLA game, it's quarterbacks and turnovers, which sounds simple, but it is obviously a huge part of the game when you look at the things that the determining factors of winning and losing a football game. Turnovers, way up there. Field position, way up there. Penalties, way up there. And DTR throwing 3 interceptions, UCLA still having a chance at the end. Utah, Cameron Rising turning the ball over as much as he did. Bo Nix really didn't turn the ball over. Caleb Williams really didn't turn the ball over that much, and you see what happens. At the end of the day, this is a game where protecting the ball, while it may not be the sexiest thing, is the most important thing, and it will always be that way. Now going to the NFL, my best, the Lions, Dan Campbell, 3 in a row. Never betting against them again. Never betting against them again. You ripped my guts out last weekend against the Bears. At least this time you beat the Giants all the way through the game. I wasn't over there. You weren't down 2 scores coming back. But Jared Goff, I'll continue to say, it looks like he's smuggling gumballs at Willy Wonka's factory.
That's hilarious to me.
But the dude's making plays. I love you talk about pitching backwards. The Lions, from an offensive play calling standpoint, it's really fun to watch. I know you got the sun god, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the guy from The Mummy. Then I know you got DeAndre Swift. I know you got Jamal Williams, who seems to score a touchdown every single week, but it's not like they have a ton of weapons running around the Lions. They're winning games as a team, and I think Dan Campbell was on the hot seat, won 3 in a row, and I need to look at the rest of their schedule over the next 3 games. The Lions are hot right now.
Turn that seat warmer down a little bit?
Yeah, I think you can turn the seat warmer down. Hey, guess what? The pot's boiling.
And you got to remember who's not out there, right?
Jamison Williams.
J-Mo's not out there.
Think about
and
that.
J-Mo's an alien. Like, he's running on water.
Well, now I'm looking around like, why did y'all trade T.J. Hawkinson to the Vikings? Because sometimes when you give up on the year, then you come back a little bit, you're like, God, maybe we should have done that.
First round for him, didn't they?
Yeah, but it's not going to help you this year.
I think so.
Not going to help you this year. Look, I tell you what. You look at their division.
Their defense is terrible.
Okay, well, they didn't play terrible yesterday.
The worst defense in the league.
Well, they didn't play terrible yesterday, and they just beat Justin Fields, who's absolutely just running all over everybody, even though the Bears can't figure it out any other place. I just tell you what, man, I'm very impressed with Dan Campbell and the way that he's doing it. My worst, kind of in that same vein, it's the New York football teams. The Giants, you overlooked them. And the Lions took advantage. You got to give them credit. You start off up early, 6-3. Graham Gano can't hit an extra point, which is great. Clavin had him on his team. He had -2 on the day. Thanks, Graham. Gives a whole new meaning to Graham Cracker. But but the Giants really looked like they got up and then just kind of took their foot off the gas. Saquon Barkley was non-existent almost in the game. It's just very, very surprising to me to see the Giants play like that. And the Jets offensively, even Garrett Wilson after the game was like, this is pathetic.
Bad.
It's pathetic. That was one of the worst offensive performance. That was the Iowa-Minnesota of the NFL Sunday. But at least Iowa and Minnesota scored a touchdown on offense.
Yeah.
At least that happened. My biggest problem with it, and I want to run this clip, in that Jets-Patriots game. If I'm the Patriots special teams coordinator, at the end, I am looking around like the Manchurian Candidate at the end when I snapped out of being brainwashed. You never block anybody behind a play, especially when a return is going to hit for a touchdown, especially when the return is going to hit for a touchdown basically as time expires. This is a great return. all right, by the Patriots. But watch at the end. This is stupidity at its finest. And if that would have got called back and they would have missed that field goal, I would have cut you. I would have cut you the next day because this is a selfish play. Let's go ahead and run the clip. There's 26 seconds left. Patriots-Jets tied at 3 in the fourth quarter. 4th and 3. Let's roll the footage. Gonna get a normal punt here. You got the drop back from the inside as the lead. Gonna make the first 2 miss. Now here comes the funnel. You feel good about it. Now it's the cutback. You're in field goal range. The punter never had a chance. Watch 30 here. Why, David? Why would you do that? Why would you risk that? I guarantee you in film, this will be called out. I guarantee you in film, this guy will have to stand up and apologize for this because this could have led to you being 5-5 because of this stupid, selfish play. You blocked him in the back. 7 yards behind the play as the guy's going back in the end zone. While everybody will be excited and jumping around, that special teams coordinator, that is a learning moment, and they're very fortunate. Not saying Nick Folk wouldn't have made the field goal, but the Patriots are very, very fortunate that wasn't called off a stupid and selfish play.
Yeah, unnecessary because it was behind the play. Do you think it was a missed call?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Because he kind of got him on the side a little bit.
Call.
I mean, he shouldn't have done it either way because
the back.
Yeah.
But you know what? There's no risk. You don't risk that.
Judgment call. I think you could say it was in the back or he hit him in the shoulder.
Well, again, you don't leave it up to the official.
No, I agree.
You don't leave it up to the official.
Yeah.
Worst case, you high wall him. I'll show you what a high wall is. Blaine, stand up real quick. So if I'm it's especially nowadays you can't blindside anybody anymore. But a high wall is if you're running down here, instead of blocking him in the back, you almost try and box him out right here with your hands up and your back to him. Because I can't block you in the back if I'm doing this, if you can get there. That's what a high wall is. You don't take him out right here when the guy's right there running into the end zone. It's a selfish play. I would have had him chopping his feet.
Wait, hold on. We need a flag for the studio.
Yeah, we do. God, if that was me, you know how hard I would have sold a block in the back?
Yo, you would have sold it.
Oh, you got to. Oh, I'm just lying. I would just lie.
What's your best and worst in the NFL?
Best from the NFL from the weekend has to be the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals, divisional matchup on the road at the Steelers. Keep in mind, they lost to the Steelers in the opener this
Rivalry
year.
Game.
It was ugly. It was ugly. Rivalry game. Now the Bengals sit here, second place in the AFC North behind the Ravens. They play the Ravens last game of the season. Joe Burrow really showed out yesterday. They've won, after that 0-2 start, they've won 6 of their last 8. Joe Burrow went for 355 and 4 touchdowns. Remember, they kind of did this last year.
Yeah.
They kind of did this last year, Cincinnati Bengals.
With no Jamar Chase.
I almost, after last night.
He's coming back, though.
I almost, after last night, went and put some money on the Bengals to win the Super Bowl.
After last night.
Yeah.
You saw
Jamar Chase coming back.
Not bad.
Come on, Jamar Chase.
I mean,
Fantasy
the
team
linebackers,
needs you.
he backed the white guy. He's unbelievable.
For the Bengals?
For the Bengals, yes.
White dude.
Yes, the white inside linebacker. Y'all know who I'm talking about, Bishop Couple. Why can't I remember his name? Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. He's a stud.
Sam Hubbard.
He's a stud. They got the 2 Harus up front. But there's a guy in the middle. I want to say it's Zach something. Y'all know, the Boost Club knows who I'm talking about.
Okay.
What was your worst?
Worst from the weekend, the Vikings. I mean, how could it not be the Vikings? Like, I know you're going to get to the Cowboys, right? So we're going to talk about that. But, I mean, it has to be the Vikings. Lost time of possession, lost the yardage battle, had more turnovers, more penalties, fewer first down. The Vikings were 1 for 11 on third down, 183 total yards. Like, forget about the players and the GMs and the coaches and all that. The owner should have to sell the team. You can't even have the team anymore. You have to sell the whole franchise and let someone else come in.
I'm just trying to make it through this segment. Blaine, what are your thoughts on it?
Anything after 12 o'clock, it's past Kirk's bedtime. Sleepy.
He eats dinner at 4:30.
Yeah.
Watching Murder, She Wrote.
Watching Law and Order. My best, the Cowboys. All right. You not only won, all right, you just dominated in every the facet of the game. Tony Pollard looked great. Ezekiel Elliott looked great. Dak looked great, starting to come back, get loose, top 10 guy, and you saw what the Vikings really are, right? You saw what they are. First of all, Vikings up front, you give up 8 sacks.
Yeah, that's where the problem
You give up 8 sacks.
Y'all want to blame Kirk Cousins. Here's Kirk Cousins the whole game.
If the O-line didn't play, it would have been the same result. That's how bad it was. It would have been the same result.
But coming from a guy who played against Dalvin Cook, am I that upset about it? No.
I was playing against Justin Jefferson.
See, then you go, you get it. But great for the Cowboys. This is what you can see the Cowboys, kind of their identity, right? They have a Super Bowl caliber defense, and the offense is only what? Getting better. So if anything, great job, Cowboys. My worst, the Texans. Y'all are trash.
What's your...
the Texans, you're trash. David Mills is not the guy. Let's all get together, all right? Sit in a circle, light a fire, hold hands. David Mills is not the guy. It's either C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. He's just not. The play calling right now in Houston is terrible. It was just it's a poverty program right now.
Well,
what it is.
A little bit. It's tough to call plays when Davis Mills is your quarterback, and there's not a lot of great plays in the playbook for Davis Mills and the ensemble they have.
Then let's turn around. All right, let's get out of shotgun. Let's stop throwing it every time we get in the red zone and play a little. Hey, we're gonna run downhill and get our play action game.
Well, you know what they need to do? They need to man up. All right, you know who else can help you man up? Nugenics. You guys feeling a little less like your old self these days? Don't have the energy you used to, or the body maybe getting a little bit soft around the edges? You need to do something about it with Nugenics Total T Testosterone Booster. All right, as we age, our body loses free testosterone. Well, some of us, me, I tend to gain it as I go. Our energy drops, our libido falls, and we start to lose muscle. And Nugenics Total T Testosterone Booster helps you turn back the clock and re-energize your workouts. It contains key man-boosting ingredients like testofen, validated in 5 clinical studies and backed by years of research, and also helps you hit home runs. All right. Unlike any other products that use generic ingredients, which are far less than clinical grade, Nugenics Total T gives you the same clinical potency levels used in trials. So you need to text. Get out your phone computer machine. You text CRAIN, C-R-A-I-N, to 231-231 for a complimentary bottle of Nugenics Total T. So text it now, and you'll also get a complimentary bottle of Nugenics Thermo. Trust me on this one. Their most powerful fat incinerator ever. It's like putting it in the oven, wake up, it's gone. It's absolutely free. So text CRAIN, that's C-R-A-I-N, to 231-231. That's CRAIN to 231-231. It may be November. We may be talking about eating turkey, but guess what, boys? We're a couple months away from beach season. You need to be looking jacked and tan. You need to make an impression. Walk on the beach. Nugenics T can help you with that. Trust me on it. Let's get to the Booster Club.
M. Hutton says, how hyped is Crane & Company, a.k.a. Blaine, that the show is doing an ad read for steroids?
It's no comment. Next question.
Hutton, congrats on the win there, bud.
Yes. Yes. I'm sure you're not in the chat saying anything.
Where are those receipts at? I can't wait to see them. Sean Pennison, hashtag Ask Crane & Company. If you look at Lane's record from the last 6 seasons at Auburn, would you be happy with the results? Yes.
Yeah. Did you see the record this past season? Not good.
Is that the goal, though, just to be better than Brian Harsin?
Well, that's one of the goals.
That should be a low goal, though.
No, I never said it was a high goal.
Why are we talking about Brian Harsin?
Yeah.
Huh?
How did Brian get in this mix?
Because Jake just referenced the previous season at Auburn,
I feel like you're kind of low-key talking trash right here.
I'm asking questions.
Is this a Michigan's 11
I'm asking questions about
the
You're lucky it's Ohio. Steve's Action Figure Frenzy, $10 donation, guys. The CNC Weekly Reminder, Archie Griffin is the greatest college football player of all time. Won't be satisfied till all 3 of you recognize his greatness.
You would take Archie Griffin over Cam Newton. You would take Archie Griffin over Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry played when Archie Griffin played, he'd have ran for 6,000 yards. He'd have won the Heisman 4 times, maybe 5 if COVID hit back then. All right, but Archie Griffin, great player, okay? But let's pump the brakes on the best college player of all time.
Archie Griffin, the greatest ever for the greatest university. They're unbeatable. No one can beat them. Hey, right here. That's why
I know one team that can beat them.
The Buckeyes right here.
Dave, I know one team that can beat them. Michigan Wolverines. The Michigan Wolverines.
Michigan will beat.
The Michigan Wolverines can beat Ohio State.
I don't need any negative energy this week.
That's positive energy.
Yeah,
right?
And I know
that's positive. That's PA right there.
I know what you're doing. You're trying to sell me. You're trying to sell me a Mitsubishi over there right now.
You heard about it? Hey, hold on. You heard about NFTs?
Sell me on NFTs.
You like NFTs? This is a picture right here.
$7 million.
Oh, man. You weren't involved in the FTX situation, were you? I just want to know.
Were you?
Can we get him out of here?
Oh, no. Blaine's been hanging out in the Bahamas with whatever's name, John Vanderfried or whatever.
Yeah, Sister Rick says, Kirk Cousins is dead to me. He's riding the bench. Your fantasy score was worse than Zach Wilson's. Nope.
No, wait,
was it
worse?
Wait, was it worse than Zach Wilson's?
I didn't know that.
1 point.
No, I had Kirk Cousins as my quarterback. He had 2.21 points. But I was playing against Dak, who just decided to throw it to Tony Pollard 3 different times for touchdowns. And then Travis Kelce. I got made fun of for taking a tight end with the 2nd overall pick.
No, you said to draft a tight end with the 1st overall pick.
Well, you know what? It's still looking like a good pick. To be honest with you, let's really
look at it. You would have had Derrick Henry.
Huh?
You wouldn't have had Derrick Henry then.
That's true, but that's why I'm a masterclass drafter. I got both of them. Like Kevin Costner, hold on. Derrick Henry, no matter what, you love to see it.
Let's go to Garrett Flores. All right, $2 donation.
Thanks, Garrett.
It says OSU by 14. Heard it here first.
Oklahoma State? Who are they playing this week?
Yeah, dude.
I thought you'd go with that. You want
I thought
that
you would
reverse
too, to be
center.
honest.
I can only take so
Only
much.
14.
I can only take so much.
Only 14.
Only 14? No, y'all
Without
got more
Blake
in you
Corum,
than that.
possibly? By the way, you have an update on Blake Corum? Do you know?
I heard no structural damage.
That's
I heard
crazy
no
because I heard
structural
structural damage.
You heard structural damage?
Yeah.
There's
I
only
heard,
so much
I
I can
heard
say
structural damage. Like,
I heard he's going to get amputated.
yeah.
Actually, now that you bring
somehow
it up, I
he
need to
actually
look it
has
up.
4 legs now. We don't know how, but
4 legs?
He's got a
Can you
leg coming
imagine
out of
how
here,
many
so-
yards Blake Corum would rush for if he had 4 legs?
Like a
He'd be
spider.
like coming out like the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
Like Loveless.
Yeah, all these 4-legged freaks.
all right, let's go to Flaming Dragon's ankles. It says, if Tennessee beat Alabama this year, I would take a 1-11 season. That one win would be worth everything. As an
Yes.
Auburn fan, buddy, I get it.
Welcome to the Iron Bowl. All right, one more. We're gonna get, one more. We're gonna get to
Let me get over here in this Daily Wire chat.
You get in there. Hey, by the way, all right, if you're not subscribed to Daily Wire Plus, trust me, go over there and do it right now. The new content we're unveiling is unbelievable. I mean, Atlas Shrugged,
Man.
scripted
They got the
series.
rights to Atlas Shrugged.
I know.
That's incredible.
That's the longest book I've ever read. Like, that's something I brag about.
Yeah.
I don't do a
1,000
lot of-
pages.
One of my favorite
books.
books. One of my favorite.
Yeah, one of your
Yeah.
favorite books,
Shrugged.
Wayne? But it's like, isn't the Atlas like a globe
Don't
on
make
paper?
me sound like that.
It's a
You don't have-
globe on paper.
You don't have to make me sound like that. You know, you don't have to do that. This is outrageous and low blow.
It's a globe on paper.
Have y'all heard the thing? Have y'all heard the joke though? Like, what's 2 things you can't eat for breakfast?
What?
Lunch and dinner.
Lunch and dinner?
No. That's
Yes,
That's
exactly.
the worst joke.
Speaking about eating, man, you know what Blake Corum was doing Sunday after he got back?
What?
He's giving out turkeys in Ypsilanti. The giving back to give thanks.
He really
program.
wants to play bad.
wow.
He's like, what can I go back and do to help karma make my knee better?
It was his second straight year doing it, though. So he was doing it last year.
That's awesome. I'm excited for him.
Just the right way in Texas.
What?
What's up, brother?
Did you
the
just
right way in Texas?
the right way?
The right way in Texas.
The right way.
The right way in Texas.
The right way in Texas.
That's
Am I speaking French? Get the fat out of your ears and listen.
What is he? Is that a store? The right way?
What's that say? What's that say?
What is
It
going
says the right way in Texas.
Oh, that's the handle.
the handle?
I thought you were making
What is this?
comment.
What is this? The right way in Texas?
Are you
What
gonna
am I
have
doing?
to Morse code it for me?
I can't-
Jeez.
I can't
There's
do
the
this
right
on
way is a
Monday.
place. It's a store. I thought you were telling a story like it got robbed or somebody was selling turkeys in there. Like
I thought
Corum.
I was speaking Spanglish.
You know what? All right, go ahead and say what
Yeah, can I say? You guys, I swear. Just woke up, but Cranico finished the weekly bastion of USC? Where's this coming from?
Where is this
going
what
on
is-
right
I don't know. Like, hey, I rode. All right, I'm riding.
All we
Who
said
picked
was
USC to beat
Tennessee.
UCLA?
Can
we hug it out? Can we hug it out? Can we hug this out right now, man?
Y'all are
Bring
so-
that in right
y'all
there.
are so
dude. In your face,
sensitive.
dude.
Like, all we said was USC really hadn't beaten anybody yet, and we're going to know after they play UCLA Notre Dame in the Pac-12 championship game. And we said the defense isn't that great because they've survived off turnovers.
Yep.
Like, spot the lie? Sensitive.
Also, you just made Caleb Williams your best of the
Good
week.
gosh, man.
Cali
Golly.
guys.
Come on, guys.
Did you want to go something else? You want me to
Now
say
let's go Witch of the Week.
Which of the week?
Oh, yeah.
Which of the week?
Witch of the
boys?
Week. Here's who I got, and it was in a loss. I hate taking a Witch of the Week in a
I did
loss,
the
but I'm
same
going
thing.
to. Muhammad Ibrahim from Minnesota. In the game, nobody will forget, and also nobody wants to remember, Iowa versus Minnesota. 39 carries, 263 yards, and a touchdown. And before you say, Jake, 39 carries, they gave the ball almost 40 times. That's not unbelievably impressive. You got over 263 yards. Well, you must not be good at math because that's 6.7 yards per carry, which is unbelievably hard to do on 6 carries, let alone 39 carries. And when everybody in the state of Iowa knows the play you're running, which is downset hut, hand it to the running back. Both teams did a great job of running that play. What a thrilling game. But Muhammad Ibrahim, congrats. Grab your broom and the goblet of fire, my friend. You're my witch of the week.
Witch of the week, Arkansas running back Rocket Sanders. If your nickname's Rocket, there's only so many things you're going to do. And playing running back is one of the better options that you have. 232 yards on the ground, 9.7 average, 3 touchdowns, another 30 receiving through the air, has 1,600 total yards on the season, 11 TDs. He's a sophomore. He's a sophomore. Got another year, boys. Gonna come back.
That'd be a great intro song, too.
That was a great outro to my Witch of the Week.
That was.
Wow, that'd be great. Remind mouthing.
Yeah,
I love to see it. Mine, it's also in the Lost Guys. But got to respect it. This is Chase Brown, Illinois.
Yeah.
Kid's
Kid's
NFL
nice.
back. I mean, ran for 140-plus
nice.
yards. Against a good rushing defense in Michigan. 2 touchdowns. I think he had 30 carries. But, man, he's just been doing it for a couple of years now, and he takes a beating. And he's a legitimate NFL running back, and I love to see Chase Brown, especially guys like this who are breaking records at Illinois. And I hope he has a positive career in the NFL.
If his pass pro can continue to improve, which is not easy for smaller guys like that, he is such a threat out of the backfield. And you know who he reminds me of?
Blake Corum.
Nyheim Hines.
Okay, he had a good game yesterday.
He reminds me of Nyheim Hines. The more I watch him, the more they remind me of each other. All right, let's go to the Booster Club before we get to rapid fire because we got to talk a little World Cup.
Do we have to?
Yes, we do.
All right, Garrett Frank says, TCU, will you just lose already? He says, I remember Barry Blaine.
Look, I haven't changed it.
Is TCU like on hall pass when they're like in the club and the guy's like, oh man, look at that girl over there, and she like looks like an 8 or a 9, and then all of a sudden the guy does the hands thing, and you like look at it and you're really like, wow, she's a 6.
Is the whole country pulling against TCU right now?
No. I don't know.
Man, I'm just
Why?
guys. Here's the question.
I like watching them.
Here's the real question: TCU or USC? Out of those two,
Can they both get in?
I'm not saying can they get in. What I'm saying is who's better? Who's better? I'm starting to think USC. I'm really starting to think USC.
Be close.
Now we have to remember,
Like Caleb
Darius
Williams.
Davis didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
All right, they're Little Witch. Speaking about Witch of the Week. All right, he's gotten like, 6 punt returns for touchdowns, and he's the guy they bring on high-low op, and they drag him across and things like that. Johnson got hurt halfway through the game.
Yep.
They're missing somebody else I can't remember off the top of my head. Max Dugan just willed them to that win. Defensively, I don't like the way they play. I don't like the 3-down stuff. I don't like the way they do it. They're not super aggressive with it. I think that's going to cost them. If they played USC, that they would give up at least 50.
They'd never get to Caleb Williams, ever. Like, that's the thing with TCU I'm worried about, especially given the playoffs. They're going to get their ass kicked at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
By every team in that playoff. Michigan, especially Michigan, Georgia, Ohio State. That's where they're going to lose the battle up front on both sides of the ball. But you go look at USC. USC's defense, below average, but what does the USC defense do? They turn you over a lot. I think that, he had 4 turnovers against UCLA.
They've been playing, man. They've been playing something.
Yeah, they've been turning the ball.
I know it's not against the greatest competition on the planet here recently, but if you just watch them play, the way they tackle, the way they arrive, the way they can move up front, they play with their hands, the way they get rid of offensive guys, whether it's offensive linemen or receivers outside. Marcus Freeman has those guys coached up on defense.
And USC, down 4, late in the game, needs a game-winning drive. The ball's in Caleb Williams' hands. I feel so confident about him going and getting a touchdown.
The Mahomes comp is a good one. The Mahomes comp is a good one. And I never thought I'd say that.
He reminds me so much of Mahomes, not only because of his ability to throw off platform, but he doesn't do it when he doesn't need to. That's the thing. He throws from the pocket so well. Whereas, like I was saying yesterday, Aaron Rodgers is just always throwing off platform. You know, it's always 3-quarter, it's always here, it's always there. He's one of those guys who can get away with it. But Caleb Williams, to me, is just unbelievable. I'm starting to think Bryce Young and Caleb Williams are the 2 quarterbacks I want late in the game, down 4, final drive, who can go get me a touchdown. And I think USC has even better weapons around Caleb Williams now than Bryce
That's
does.
not even an argument.
So, I don't know.
Well,
late in the game.
UCLA goes up 14-0. 14-0. Had them right where you wanted to, and you let them off the hook. Chip Kelly, and he's done a nice job at UCLA. At what point do we start questioning Chip Kelly's ability to win big games? I mean, you took Oregon to the national championship, got beat by Cam Newton, whose back was almost thrown out during the game.
Get it, though. I get you losing.
Well, no, I get that, but what big game has Chip really won? What championship has Chip Kelly won? Seems like he's always a bridesmaid and never the bride.
We thought it was a big game last year when they beat LSU week 1.
And then
we
LSU
learned LSU was... just absolutely mid.
What else from the Booster Club?
Let's go to G. Dougie Wifey 0326.
Nice.
All right,
Dougie Wifey.
Good seeing you in here, brother. He says, what do y'all think happens to college playoff rankings if Ohio State wins against Michigan this weekend, again, but then goes on to lose the Big Ten championship to a team with a team with 3 losses like Purdue or Iowa? I don't give you guarantees.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you 100% if Ohio State wins this game, they're killing both of them.
They're going to murder anybody from the West.
But to answer his question, if it doesn't happen, what do you think? Are they still in?
yes.
Because we said that about Georgia.
Because to me, it comes down to a head-to-head with Michigan. That's what it comes down to.
Well, I mean, so it would be
Purdue's not
Georgia.
It would be Georgia. Here's
you know who that would hurt the most is Michigan.
Yeah,
Michigan needs to, if they lose, they need them to go win the Big Ten championship.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But I think Michigan also benefited the most from Tennessee losing.
Sure.
Like, because here's the problem you're going to run into. I'm looking at Alabama out here just hanging around.
Oh, boy.
And I know the way this works. And I know Saban made a deal with some deity,
Oh, that's true.
15 years ago that he's going to be willing to give up something for this.
So we're saying TCU wins out.
If we're saying if Georgia's in, okay, let's go ahead and do that. Georgia's in. If LSU beats Georgia, they're in, but I'm not counting on that.
Yeah.
So let's say TCU goes undefeated, which I'm going to tell you right now, it's looking like they're going to play Kansas State in that Big 12 championship game, correct?
Yeah, Iowa State this weekend coming up.
And Iowa State with that 3-3-5 is the triple option of defenses. But if TCU wins out, USC wins out, they're both in. Here's the problem. Georgia's in, that gives you 3. If Clemson wins out, they're in. Because one of Michigan and Ohio State is going to lose. And it's going to be the odd man out of Ohio State and Michigan if TCU, USC, and Clemson run the table. They finish it out.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it.
Okay, hold on. You're saying
Georgia,
TCU
wins out.
Yes.
USC wins out.
USC, yeah.
Clemson wins out.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But no, you have to.
Ohio State, I'm sorry, Georgia, Ohio State. I spoke too soon. Georgia, let's just say Ohio State wins. Ohio State,
okay.
TCU wins out. USC wins out.
I think that's it.
I think that's
so. He said, "What if Ohio State loses the championship game?" Right?
Yeah.
That's when.
Do you put in a 1-loss Ohio State over a
1-loss Clemson?
You're going to have a team
ACC
from the Big
champion?
Ten.
Yeah.
You're going to have a team from the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think you'd have Ohio State at 4.
Yep.
You could have Ohio State at 4. You'd have TCU at 2, USC at 3, Ohio State at 4.
This conversation always just comes down to conference championships and how much they matter.
But
they should.
I know, but and they do matter. But we've seen Alabama be able to make it in without even playing in a conference championship. And those years they did, we all agreed, yeah, it made sense.
Yeah. Well, now we have to think too from an Alabama perspective. Regardless, Michigan, Ohio State, they're both going to finish with 1 loss. Michigan and Ohio State are guaranteed to both finish with at max 1 loss. Because whoever wins that game is going to the Big Ten championship, and the other one's not. So where it's going to get wonky is if TCU loses or USC loses. Because if TCU loses and USC loses, the Pac-12 and the Big 12 are out. They're out. I think Clemson's going to win this thing through. But guys, what happens if UNC beats Clemson, TCU loses, USC loses? I think that's going to keep the loser of Ohio State, Michigan in the playoff.
Yes, I think so.
That's really your best hope.
Because at that point, if not, you're starting to decide between 2 lost teams.
That's exactly right. And then LSU sitting there. I mean, it could get. There's still a chance it could get really, really, really weird. One more from the Booster Club. We're gonna get to rapid fire, Blaine.
Yeah, let's go to Travis Elrod. What up, Travie? He says, "Who's the best team?" No, it's a theoretical question. Who has had a better season based on somewhat of the data? So is it best team that gets in? All right, is it best team or best resume?
Well, I think those two things are the same thing.
Well, I mean, it just comes down to this. It's like, so you're saying you can win a conference championship, right? Your 1 loss at Clemson is going to be a Notre Dame team, which is ranked. That was on the road, right?
Yep.
All right, you win the ACC, but you sit
Clemson's in. If Clemson wins out, I think they're in.
over Ohio State.
Whoever loses the Michigan-Ohio State game.
I think they need 1 loser. I think they need TCU or USC to lose.
So if Michigan, say either Michigan or Ohio State, we just talked about this somewhat, but if Michigan wins that game and loses the Big Ten championship,
Pull up the college football
they
playoff
get in
rankings.
over Clemson.
Pull up the college football playoff rankings because the AP means nothing here. It comes down to the college football playoff ranking. That's what's going to tell you. Look at where Clemson is. Look at where USC is.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Georgia,
Yes.
Ohio,
Yep.
Michigan, TCU. All those those four don't change. Now, they had Tennessee here, right, at 5, so they're going to move down. They had LSU at 6.
Which they're going to move up. LSU will be moved up in the College Football Playoff.
See, and that's interesting because that means a 2-loss LSU team will remain ahead of a USC team. I'm pulling up mine that I moved.
And they know that.
I moved Southern Cal to 5
okay.
this weekend.
Where do they have USC and Clemson in the College Football Playoff rankings?
This past week, they had Southern Cal at 7, and they had Clemson at 9 with Alabama in between them. And then they had Utah at 10. Look, Penn State's going to be moving up too, boys. Penn State's got to move up. They're only lost to Michigan and Ohio.
9. I mean, again, I guess you're right with Clemson, David. You're going to have one loser. Between TCU and USC, you're going to have one loser.
Mm-hmm.
Which is it's plausible. It's looking like USC is going to play Oregon. Pac-12 championship game now that Oregon beat Utah, and that's it. It should be settled, right?
Looks like it.
Okay. Holy hell. This is going to be fun, boys. Woo! Woo! And I'm going to be at a sports book to watch these games. You got to love it. Can't wait till next year we go on the road. All right, rapid fire, Cone.
All right. The U.S. first round matchup, World Cup. Talk to us about it, Jake.
Here's what I'm going to say. They counted us out when Paul Revere was rolling through, telling everybody the British are coming. Thought they were going to big dog us. We're afraid. They're okay. They got some good guys. Mel Gibson's all right. You know, some of them are all right, but we should dominate them. Wales does soccer. We get that. Y'all don't have y'all aren't looking at Auburn, Alabama, or USC, or the Vikings, or the Cowboys. This is what y'all do. This is what y'all do. But I'm going to tell you something. This is the greatest country in the world. At least it is for now. Not looking good down the road if we keep going the way we're going. But for right now, it's still the greatest country in the world. All right? Is soccer our favorite sport? No. But it doesn't have to be our favorite for us to be the best at it. Look at spying. All right? I know Wales has Gareth Bale, which I get it. But I just feel like, and we're plus 140 to win. I think they're plus 275, somewhere around there, which means it's probably going to be a draw. That's probably going to see in soccer because it's more ties than a Joseph A. Bank. But
we're plus 140?
We're plus 140, and they're plus like 265. So Vegas.
We're slated to win.
I know, but don't stop saying it so loud.
So it's
over.
It's a lock.
It's done.
It's a dub.
We already beat them.
It's a dub.
You know, I really expect my countrymen to be more supportive.
I'm being supportive.
Okay,
I am too.
I know you're not the biggest
in the
soccer
right way.
guys.
I love it.
I'm trying to help you.
I know y'all probably won't
Football.
even watch the game.
Football.
I'm going to be glued to the TV. I may get one of those scarves that has a picture of Ben.
What time's the game today?
1 o'clock.
Don't care. Don't care.
Well, we talk about McCarthyism. Got one right here. Let's look in his background.
It has less to do with soccer and more to do with can they be proud to be American?
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're gonna talk crap about the country, but then everyone cheer for us when we're over here playing.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing, guys. You can be supportive, you cannot be supportive, but I'm gonna love it. And if you did want to bet the game, if you wanted to take USA money line, you need to head over to our good friends at DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yes.
All right? You need to just download the app now. It's super simple. You got some other ones out there that claim to be the best. That's lies. Those are all lies. We know it. And if you use code BOOSTER, you place a $5 bet on any NFL team to win their game, and you get $150 in free bets if they do. In this economy, okay? They're raising the rates. DraftKings is raising the roof. All right, only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. Now, we know minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. But, guys, we talk about DraftKings all the time. It's what we use. It's what the Booster Club uses. We're one together. Hell, it's what probably Sweet Baby Gang uses when they bet as well. The more legs you add, the bigger boost you can have, the bigger shot to win big with their stepped-up same-game parlays. Everyone can earn up to a 100% boost. I love using the SGPs, especially on Monday Night Football. Have a little any touchdown scorer, maybe an over-under, maybe an alternate point spread line too as well. I mean, there's a ton of picks. You can check it out. So, like I said, all right, whether it's the same-game parlays, whether it's the easy and fast payouts, which after Reed hit that $1,000 bet, got our check yesterday, first-class mail from a first-class organization. That's DraftKings Sportsbook, Cone. Use promo code BOOSTER. Don't let everybody down.
I don't know about Sweet Baby Gang, but Sweet Baby Cone uses DraftKings.
Sweet Baby Cone.
And he threw me for a loop because I've been trying to look at his ticket to see like what bets he's taking.
Just a little.
He put a fake ticket
scientist.
on there. He put a fake ticket on there so I would see it.
You put a fake ticket?
Fake ticket. He's like, those aren't my bets.
Wow.
He's good. Look,
the long game.
Places.
Next level.
That kid's going.
Look, I love DraftKings. I'm in love with DraftKings. To be honest.
We believe me, we know.
I mean, I talk to DraftKings every day of my life.
Do they talk back?
They do. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it may be good, but it's mostly good all the time. This weekend, I mean, went 8-4, boys.
That a boy.
On the weekend,
That a boy.
needed it.
Nice.
Needed it. David, turn around. Who is it? It's me.
Yeah, I went.
Are you winning now?
6
I
and
don't
6.
know. I think we're like. I think.
Oh,
I'm,
we're gonna say Cody Nason's got a 70
I think I'm
record.
close to you though, because you were Scotty was catching
fire.
bodies.
Scotty's on.
I chose violence with my picks.
Yeah,
This week,
Scotty,
because I
you're
thought,
catching.
okay, I'm in the lead. You know, what's the natural thing? Oh, we want to take it easy. You know, we just want to run the
Go
ball.
against the
and
grain.
Complacency
no.
is
Go
a
I was
killer
like,
of
nah,
greatness.
I love that.
go for the jugular.
Complacency is
I love
the
that.
killer
Go
of
for the jugular.
greatness.
When I lose this month, at least I'll know, hey, I had that killer instinct.
Well, every time I do good, your son beats me. So like, I need him to chill out.
Yeah, I need him to chill out too.
I need him to chill out.
I already told you I tried to look up his picks. He put up a fake ticket.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got in rapid fire?
All right, next one. Well, we were just talking about it, but Southern Cal, first top 5 ranking since 2017.
Yeah, it's good to see Southern Cal back. You know, the West Coast representing, maybe keep some of those recruits from leaving and going to the Southeast now. But Lincoln Riley's building a monster over there. You knew it when he got hired. It was a matter of time. All Lincoln does is find ways to win. Now the last code he has to crack is doing it in the playoff. And I think he's going to be able to, again, this is why it's so huge, Caleb Williams, maybe winning the Heisman. USC has never had problem recruiting quarterbacks, but this puts it on steroids. It really does. They need to add defensive pieces as well. That's going to be the difference when it comes down to it.
Odell Beckham Jr., there's still talk about which team should he join. I don't understand what's going on. Is he going to play football or not? What's the
Oh,
holdup?
I think he's going to play football.
What's the holdup?
I know he's going to go to a contender, and I'm going to tell you exactly where he should go. I know a quarterback that needs some help. All right, he's got an unbelievable wide receiver in Jordan Jefferson, a great running back in Dalvin Cook. Odell Beckham, Kirk needs you, man. Kirk needs you. Just like Spock.
I don't
Kirk
know who
needs
Jordan.
you. Odell
I don't know who
Beckham
Jordan
can be the
Jefferson is.
Spock
Justin
for
Jefferson.
for Captain Kirk over there.
Is Jordan Jefferson? Was he an LSU player?
Justin Jefferson.
You said Jordan. Who
Did I
was?
say Jordan Jefferson? He was a
He's an
quarterback.
LSU quarterback.
That's right.
That's right.
I mean, we
Cold.
dominate people
He
on
was.
NCAA.
Cold. Yeah.
NCAA.
Look at number 9.
Justin Jefferson.
He was, yeah.
Number 9.
I'm
yeah.
beating around the same bush. Guys, imagine the LSU connection back. Just put another stud LSU wide receiver in the NFL. Odell, Justin Jefferson. You got the purple.
Say 2 teams. All right, these are my 2 teams. 1, I always put this team in here because they always go get receivers and they always make that right play. That's Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Right.
Man, they gotta they're gonna go get Odell, but they just got Kadarius Toney. Like what else? You're gonna have too many.
You just named one guy.
Okay, let's look at the weapons they have.
Okay.
You've got Travis Kelce at tight end, absolute stud. You've got Juju Smith-Schuster on the outside. You've got Kadarius Toney. He's going to be back. It was a concussion. Kadarius Toney, Mecole Hardman Jr., Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You need
Thank
a little
you for like. Why are we getting we're saying Valdez-Scantling, like not even a top probably 60, 70 receiver. I mean, you got Sky Moore, rookie. Then you have Juju. He's okay, but you add Odell, Super Bowl
Juju's
push,
better
right?
than okay.
I say Juju's okay. Juju Smith-Schuster's career has been okay. That's what it's been. But then you add a guy like Odell, I know his knees right now, we don't really know, but he looked good last year on the Rams until he got hurt. Another team I would probably say is the Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, I feel like Odell just fits that type of place on the Cowboys.
On the Cowboys right now, I'm not touching it.
CeeDee Lamb, you add Odell, you saw Michael Gallup. Now, that's a receiver core that if you're a defense, you're worried about, for sure. And then you have Dalton Schultz at tight end.
Love Dalton Schultz.
Goes to church every Sunday. Then you got both those backs. You're starting to build a stable, and that defense is good enough to do what? Win you a Super Bowl. We just watched them absolutely terrorize Kirk Cousins for four quarters, which was super fun to watch, but you can't score a touchdown. Vikings had that over.
Can we take a second to recognize the greatness in me picking up Tony Pollard?
No.
It was great.
Thank
It was
you.
a great decision. How about 2 playoff contenders in the same state?
Ooh.
How about 49ers? They've already added a ton of weapons.
Why not? They're
Why not add
Frankenstein in this
another
whole
one?
thing.
He doesn't need to be the
So-
guy. Could just go in there, make some
Give
plays
Debo
for Jimmy
another
Garoppolo,
guy
who
to-
needs all the help he can get. Playoff contender. You're trying to make a push late. He did it with the Rams.
So
last
we're cool
year.
with the
Went to
49ers,
Rams.
but not the Chiefs?
I mean, look, both of them have a
Well,
lot of pieces.
I think when you look at the 49ers offensively, they hadn't exactly been blowing it out of the water. The Chiefs are scoring points really at will right now.
The 49ers are scoring points. They're doing pretty damn good.
Look, not
So with
nearly
Debo
compared to what the
Samuel,
Chiefs
Brandon Ayuk,
are. Cowboys, I get.
Kittle, like they have just as many weapons as the Chiefs does. But if he
I don't
went
hate
to
the Chiefs pick. He doesn't need to
it'd
be the
too
guy
many.
at
But if
either
he went
one
to
of
the
those
49ers, it wouldn't be too many. So I'm confused.
Well, I'm just again I think the way the Niners operate offensively and the way the Chiefs operate offensively are totally different. I think you got Kadarius Toney to kind of be that guy, which he can be. I'm just telling you, Odell Beckham Jr. how much of a decoy is he now as opposed to somebody that can produce on the field, which there is relevance and merit to having a decoy on the field. We see it all the time. I'm not thinking he's going to be nearly as effective as Kadarius Toney will be for the Chiefs.
How about don't even leave Los Angeles? Just go play for the Chargers. You got Justin Herbert there. Austin Eckler, you could fill in for
Keenan
Mike Williams.
played football yesterday,
He caught a first pass.
Yeah.
You caught the first
What did he
pass.
get?
You got 12.
Okay,
Not
there
bad.
you go.
Not
Better
bad.
than 0.
Not bad.
You see the catch Mike Williams
came
had
back
on the
with-
sideline?
and they were
The toe tap catch
Dude,
Mike
did you see
Williams
the
had, then he
catch-
went out.
Did you see the catch that Cole Kmet made for the Bears
Oh, disgusting.
Yes, I did.
while getting hit? That's
did
one of the
see
best
that.
catches I've seen.
I'm glad he's like, I was worried about him last year with his ACL. I thought it was gone. That kid's
Gone.
Yeah.
Talking about the Chiefs, big comeback win over the Chargers yesterday.
Yep.
You know what makes me feel good? To know Austin Eckler, who I have on my fantasy football team, has himself on his fantasy football team.
That
That makes me feel good.
That's it. You always bet on yourself.
Because he's invested. He has skin in the game as well.
Yeah, always bet on yourself.
Cordell
And you know
Patterson,
he's going to try and get
ooh,
that touchdown at the end. He's not going to try and sell it short.
It matters.
Didn't you just know, though, you're watching that game, you left a minute 46 on the clock,
Yeah.
boys. Chargers, we've been here before.
Yeah.
All right. You know what's about to happen.
Travis.
There was no point in that.
Travis.
I literally, right when they scored, I saw a minute 46. I was like, well, this game's over.
Yeah. Good luck. Good try.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, y'all lost.
AFC West. AFC West.
Cordell Patterson, you already talked about him, didn't
Yep. 9 kickoff return touchdowns in his career. That's a lot. By the way, do you know yesterday that walk-off punt return basically was the first punt return touchdown of the season in the NFL?
you? Oh, that's right. I had
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Out of 1,000, there was
Yes.
500 punt returns and 500 kick
Because
returns.
the referees always be calling holding. That's why.
Do we have Cordell Patterson's clip?
Cordero, yeah. I believe
if
we
we
do,
have
but
it.
that's 9 guys.
I had him at
That's
anytime
so many.
touchdown.
Here we
boys.
go.
Oh, I loved watching.
Watch this. Watch this galloping monster right here. Let's go ahead and play the clip. Falcons needed it, down 17-7 against the Bears.
Really well. Here's Patterson
Watch
who
this.
fumbled
Head
Get a
is-
running start.
Here
That's
he
half the battle,
goes.
dude.
Cordarrelle
Set him up.
Patterson.
Long strider. Right here, he's gone. You know he's gone. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He is flying.
Gone.
Get in there, Cordell. I've always liked Cordell Patterson.
Cordarrelle.
And that's your starting running back.
I know.
That's
You remember he
your
was a
starting back.
receiver.
Starting team.
He was a receiver when he got in
Starting
the league,
athlete.
remember?
Yeah.
He's your starting athlete.
You want to know
sorry.
how good he is? They were just like, hey, what if we just put him in running back? It's like South Carolina with Jaheim Bell was like, wait. Shane Beamer's like, Marcus, wait a minute. You want to put Jaheim Bell at running back? He's like, that's a crazy idea, but it just might be crazy enough to work.
It's like, should I change my number from 84 to 24? No. We're going to use you everywhere.
Don't worry about
You'll
it.
get used everywhere.
It's eligible. Just be eligible.
All right, last two here. Mark Stoops, new deal.
Yep,
Back in
and he
Kentucky,
got it the day
8.6
before they
million.
lost to Vandy. God bless America.
Right.
No, Mark's did a great job at that program. Look, Will Levis is the most overrated thing since, that I can remember, really. In
I was about to
recent
say,
memory.
you tread carefully for what you're about to say. I didn't know what you were about to say,
Yeah.
but it felt like it was going to be extremely controversial.
It was
so now I
probably
kind of
gonna
want
be-
you to say it.
No, it was going to be controversial. But look, Mark Stoops built it the right way. They got to get some weapons on there. And Wan'Dale Robinson, another 100-yard game in the NFL. Nobody talked about when he left. Maybe it was more Wan'Dale than it was more Will Levis. One guy puts mayonnaise in their coffee. The other guy gets 100-yard touchdown or 100-yard receiving games in the NFL.
That is true. Last one. Kyrie Irving is set to start for the Brooklyn Nets following his 8-game ban.
Glad to see Kyrie back. Again, when it comes down to kind of the way it went down with him, it just a bad situation overall. Kyrie, you got to stop being a distraction. You got to stop being, if it's not this, it's something else. If it's not that, it's something else. The Nets need less distractions. That's all the Nets have been, is a distraction. That's it. And Kyrie, we know he's a hell of a ball player. You just need to focus on playing ball, man. Just
The
focus on
earth's
playing.
not flat.
Yeah, and the earth isn't flat, Doug. I hate to tell you.
Come on, man. Come on, dude.
And you dribble a ball that's round and you
Come
think
on,
the earth is
man.
flat. To me, that's just been unbelievably contradictory.
I still haven't gotten past his comments and remarks, man. That's just there's a certain place in people, like there's a certain evil in people that I'll never understand, and stuff like that I don't get.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
All right, boys, that's it for Rapid Fire.
All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to make sure if you want to watch the rest of this, all right? If you want to listen to it, just keep it right here. Just keep the bad boy right here. Make sure you're liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel. But if you want to watch the rest, head over to the Daily Wire Plus. We just hit 1 million subscribers on our way to 1 billion, okay? So become a member or listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe. leave a 5-star review, and share it with your friends. Make sure you share the show with everybody. We want to grow as big as possible. And to all those people who we brought back to sports because you're not listening to the BS on the outside and it's actually about sports, we appreciate you like you appreciate us, and keep helping us grow. We'll be right back. Dude, Creed is an intro would be so fire.
You know, like great, like it's impossible to have a bad day. Like right when you walk in the studio, and that's like you look to the corner, it's like, and I'm 6 feet.
No, dude, I could write a Creed chorus and I could record it. I can sound just
I'd
like
see
that
like
guy.
in your.
It's the easiest voice ever to do.
Hit me with the Creed voice here.
Do you have to do the?
It's a sports show. I'm telling you, it's easy. It's easy.
There you go.
All right, let's go to some lines. We like some sharps. We like shout out DraftKings.
Yeah.
Use the promo code Booster, guys. Do it. And also, while you're at it, text 2231 or text Crane to 231-231. While you're looking up lines, here's what we got. Johnson TC's 8-0. Tyson's right hook 6-0. B-Samp, there he is. B-Samp, Tall Riot, Kyle Jenkins, Jay Stewart, Randall 2-0. Quitter 16, Cody Nason, the king of getting graphic. Kurazi Exchange and Revco 250 are all 1-0. We had lunch with Revco.
That's our boy Revco and
Nathan.
Neftink. Yep.
That was a lot of fun. Shout out Local Taco.
Well, I mean, one line I'm already excited about. I get excited about every week, guys. And Nebraska, Iowa unders at 37.5.
I'm not.
Give me that. Ha ha ha.
It's in Iowa?
Yeah, it's in Iowa.
Yeah, give me the under. Give me the
Yeah.
under. 10.
37.
Ton of Friday games too this week.
Oh yeah,
Ton of Friday games.
Hit me with some count.
Arkansas, Missouri.
Baylor's at Texas. That's Texas minus 8.5 over under 56.
God, don't you just feel like Texas is going to murder them?
Tulane, Cincinnati on a Friday,
What is
11
it?
o'clock.
Minus
Cincinnati minus 2.5.
What's the over under on
47.
that? Man, Cincinnati's pretty good on defense. I may stay away from that one. It's at Tulane.
It's at Cincy.
Ooh, I don't trust Ben Bryant.
Man, North Carolina.
I heard he doesn't trust you either.
Good.
North Carolina's minus 6.5 at home hosting NC State. Rivalry game.
Got to bounce back, right? NC State can't score, but North Carolina can't really stop anybody. Like, this is like when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. What's going to happen? Probably pandemonium. I think Auburn was a 22-point underdog on the road at Bama. Is that still the case? What's the over-under in that game? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
You got over-under Bama over there?
Yeah, I can get it. 1 second.
Hey, quickly, Florida at Florida State. Florida State's minus 9.5.
Man, that's a game I don't want to touch.
Clemson minus 14.5 against South Carolina.
Ooh.
I feel like that's a sucker line.
Over under is 49.5 in the Bama Auburn.
Oh, give me the under. Give me the under.
What's a number that you would take the over?
44.5. Because I think Bama's going to score at least 31. The question is, can Auburn score with Robbie Ashford, who Will Friend's trying to turn into a pocket passer? You got Robbie Ashford in the eye, dropping back in a 5-step drop, trying to go through reads. Here's what you do with Robbie Ashford. You put him in the shotgun. You do a lot of motion, RPOs, zone reads, get him rolling on sprint outs. Don't put him under center and turn him into a drop back passer. If you get into the eye with the offensive line that Auburn has and you try and run it down Bama's throat, they're going to laugh you out of Tuscaloosa. You may not get a first down. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Or you have got to find a way to witchcraft and wizardry your way through that defense with Robbie Ashford.
Man, here's a line for you. Coastal Carolina at James Madison. James Madison is minus 13.5. Now, remember, Grayson McCall is out for the year.
How was Coastal done in their last
Okay, that's what I was looking up. Coastal won this past weekend 26-23 against Southern Miss. They also beat Appalachian State the week before 35-28. They're 9-1 on the year. James Madison is minus 13.5.
James Madison with a nice comeback win. I mean, obviously Grayson McCall's backup's playing pretty good.
That one's
Vanderbilt plus 490.
Hold on, what's the spread?
15.5.
Wow, I love
15.5.
Vandy. I love Vandy plus 15.5 there. Am I crazy?
Let's say it right now. All right, I'm going to say it right now.
What are you going to say right now?
Well, this is going to be one of my Saturday bets is going to be Vanderbilt money line plus 490.
When it goes on the
Vanderbilt
alternate, I want to
money
see
line.
what Vandy is plus 10.5.
15.5 with Joe Milton at quarterback. No, I'm good. USC's -5.5 against Notre Dame at home. And that over/under 62.5.
Wait,
I like
Southern Cal's
USC in this game.
-5.5?
Yep.
I like USC in this game. What's the over/under you said?
62.
God, I hate that number. Notre Dame can't throw it. They can't.
Utah -29.5 against Colorado. Colorado's terrible.
Awful. I will take Utah.
Terrible.
I will pound the Utah. Probably 27.5. I'd probably buy it down. I want that 4 touchdown. Colorado is
Michigan, Ohio
What's
State.
the over/under though? What's the over/under though?
It is 52.5.
52.5?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd probably play the under.
What, play the under?
I think Colorado scores.
I think Utah can score over 52 by themselves. What do you mean? Look at, I mean, just again, Colorado is awful.
Yeah, it's close.
Louisville, Kentucky. Kentucky -3.5 at home.
Louisville wouldn't be a bad bet. Louisville just came off of a good win. Was it against NC State?
Is it a good win
Yeah.
against NC State now?
I
think they did
That's a
win.
great question.
8.5,
Dave. 8.5.
In the comments, tell us what's your best?
Eight and a half
That's really sharp
points. When are we getting into that? Right?
What's the-
Let's get
what's-
into it right now?
What's the booster club?
I don't want the points.
You don't want the points? You going money line, ain't
You know how I do it.
you? All right.
What's the
Right. Rhino's $5 dono says it's Ole Miss hate week. Time to air out some grievances. Now Ole Miss knows how we felt with Dan always shopping for jobs at the end of the year.
And again, I don't hate Ole Miss, guys.
No.
I don't hate Ole Miss. Sorry that I tell the truth. Okay, I've done that since it was the J-Boy show. Our boss says facts don't care about your feelings. Okay, they don't. I'm sorry.
I don't hate Ole Miss either. I just
Never lost a
I just
party.
like pissing y'all off, to be honest. It's funny.
Why do you like that?
Well, I just like pissing people off on Twitter because they take Twitter so serious. And I like to see the rats and the snakes come out on Twitter.
Oh, yeah,
It's
you
so
do.
fun to
It's like when
watch.
the ship's sinking, you see
It's
the rats
so
trying
fun to
come up.
watch. Like I said the other day, I don't know if it was yesterday's show or
You got some of them saying Lane Kiffin just go now after
Go,
that
yeah,
loss.
just
the
the
same
mix.
ones who were like, Lane's never gonna leave. We love
first,
Lane.
yeah, first it's at you, right? First at you, but then they start going at each other. And that's when it gets fun.
Yeah.
That's when you have your 45 minutes of just absolutely laughing.
Well, they are the
your
rebels.
ass off. Oh, it's not even that. Even Auburn fans. It's just so funny to watch. Like,
Auburn's fan base is way more toxic than Ole Miss.
Oh, not even close. Like some
not even
people,
close.
Like I just want to watch Twitter. This is the reason we have Twitter for
These Auburn
things like
fans.
this.
Cone, I'll never
These
forget.
all-
Cone put out that clip of him saying to Urban
Meyer?
he's the next coach. And the next day he shows up to work like, man, I get what y'all are saying now. about
These
the
Auburn fans who said, no, we don't want him. We never want someone who
It's
cheats
never
on their
good.
wife with a college girl. And now they're like, Lane Kiffin, please come to Auburn. What?
Yeah.
Joey
What
Freshwater.
happened?
Look, if you don't have baggage, I don't want you coaching.
Yeah, it's like I said, I want my coaches like I like the airport. I want a lot of baggage.
I love it.
Hey, here's a line for you. Oregon at Oregon State. Oregon's -3.5.
What is Oregon State on the money line, David?
Oregon State on the money line, +140.
Oh, it's only +140? Ew, gross. I thought it was going to be +2 something.
Over under 56.5. Where's Washington? Who's Washington playing
State.
Washington State?
Yeah, it should be. Apple Cup.
Washington still has a chance to make it to the Pac-12 championship.
What is the Washington?
If Washington wins and Oregon loses, right?
Because Washington State had a nice win at Arizona after
It's
Arizona.
Washington State at Washington.
It's not on there. You not see it?
I don't see it yet. I'm looking. The only conference championships that are set right now are LSU, Georgia, Clemson, North Carolina, and Fresno State, Boise State.
Ooh, it's going to get off.
All right, you're talking about the Washington State spread?
Yes.
Yeah.
-2.5 Washington.
Really? It was at Washington.
It's at Washington State. Over under 59.8.
I love that over. I love that over. Right? How
I'm
bad's the
seeing
weather going to be?
58.5.
That's the
watch
question.
Washington State play a lot.
I have that. I mean, they do some good things. They put up some points every now and then, but defensively, they're a lot better than they've been in a while, at least from what I can remember. All right, I want to get a fantasy update in here real quick.
Yes.
Let's get fantasy.
Okay, right now I am in third place, 6-4, playing Clavin, who's 7-3. He's in second place. I'm up 162 to 89. It's a beatdown right now. I still got Deebo Samuel left to play, and he has Christian McCaffrey left to play. So let's just say right now I'm projected for 175 points.
Man, it looks like Sweet Baby Gang might win.
Oh, I know.
I don't know. Team Knowles come back.
I mean,
All right.
there's some time left.
Let me
Team
tell you
Knowles.
about my matchup.
Got George
about my
Kittle.
matchup. I'm not going to tell you which team's which.
Oh, my
okay?
gosh.
I'm not going to tell you which team's which. One team is up by 10 right now, okay, and still has the 49ers defense left to play.
Okay.
The other team, down by 10 has James Conner left to play for the Cardinals. Who would you take?
I'm taking the team.
Well, it
with
depends
James
on
Conner.
This depends on if Kyler Murray's playing.
Who's up by 10? Is
Sounds
it you?
like Kyler Murray's not playing.
Kyler Murray's not playing. I would take the team
I would take
up by 10 with the defense.
James Conner.
I would take the team up by 10 with the defense.
I'd take James Conner.
Really?
What defense is it?
49ers.
I thought it was the Cardinals defense.
Because that's me. I'm up by 10. I have the 49ers defense.
Oh, Cone, this
he
would
has
be a
James
huge
Conner
win for
left to
you.
play.
This is a make or break. This is kind of a make or break week. You get
That's
to
gonna be
6 and
iffy,
5.
That's going to be iffy.
Right now, Cone's in 4th. He wins. He gets to 6 and 5. I'm looking at the standings right now. All right, so I'm in 3rd. Cone's in 4th. Blaine's in 5th. Wow, this is a huge one. I'm playing Clavin, who's in 2nd. Blaine, you're playing Shapiro,
Let me see.
right?
You've got yours locked up, don't you?
How many points you got, Dave? You got your
For the year?
30.
On the year or in this match?
See,
got it.
Blaine's playing Shapiro.
Yeah, so I'm right now.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I'm,
this is over. That's a wrap.
Don't.
You got DeAndre Hopkins. He has Rondale Moore.
I hope
You're up.
somehow
You're up
something
19.
disastrous happens to any of your
No.
fantasy. I hope
No.
Debo sprains his ankle.
Guys, all three of
it's
us could
over.
make this play.
So I'm up 93-74. I have DeAndre Hopkins, who's questionable to play tonight. If he doesn't play, I'm screwed. And he has the Cardinals defense and Rondale Moore.
Blaine, why wouldn't you pick up a wide receiver just in case DeAndre?
I can still pick up a wide receiver. I have Odell sitting on my bench. I can drop him. Anything else?
Yeah, why wouldn't you pick up a receiver?
Man, how healthy is the 49ers defense right now?
Super unhealthy.
I heard they started taking Nugenics though, and
They start taking you.
First of all, did anybody see TJ Watt catch that pick yesterday?
Yes,
TJ
of
Watt.
course.
Didn't we watch Aiden
I had the
Hutchinson
Bengals.
catch another interception?
Good God. Joe Burrow was like,
Yeah.
what do I do?
Yeah.
Dude, what do I do?
Dude, no, like watching Aiden Hutchinson too. He's got like 2 or 3 interceptions this year.
Yeah.
He got another one.
He's
yesterday.
balling.
Really good.
All right, so we'll keep doing the fantasy updates. I'm going to get to these bets real quick. Tonight, as we get down to the end of this month, I want a little 2-team parlay, over 35.5. This is for the Cardinals 49ers. They give me Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. That's plus 115. Then I'm going college basketball. All right, give me Belmont money line, FSU money line, Arizona money line, Fordham, and K-State money line plus 205.
Did y'all hear about the new player that Michigan signed this week to play in the game?
What's her name?
It's Aiden Hutchinson's brother, Hayden Hutchinson.
Really? He has
he's
a
gonna show-
mustache.
He has a mustache.
Yes.
He has a mustache. Going to show
Good.
up to play. Yeah.
Good.
Should
Well,
be
they
good.
barely got past Ohio last night, so.
Ohio.
No, not even Ohio State. Ohio,
No.
the Bobcats.
Oh, I reread the fight song, by the way, for the Buckeyes. No
did.
state in there. I'm just calling them what they want to be called.
It doesn't say the word state.
No.
So technically, you're right.
Yeah.
Wow.
OHIO, that's what they tell me.
Interesting.
Anyway, so since we don't need James Conner to score a touchdown against my fantasy team today, my first pick is going to be a James Conner anytime touchdown at minus 105.
Love that.
One way or another, I'm going to be happy.
Hedging emotions.
that.
And then I want the 49ers to win plus the under at 43.5. That's in the plus money, plus 140.
All right, give me Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown and the under at 43.5. That's going off of a dirty plus 270. And then me the 49ers minus 4.5, minus 190 because I couldn't get them anything less than that. So hashtag hate that second bet.
So you need Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown and the game under.
Yes.
I need Christian McCaffrey to score a touchdown in over 35.5. All right, Baby Cone. He wants Arkansas, the Razorbacks, little college basketball action. Minus 15.5. That's going off at minus 110. And then Texas Tech at Creighton. A hell of a game. Over 134. That's at minus 105. Do you want to say anything? Gonzaga, Rasir Bolton dropped like 24 points. They beat up on Kentucky. Kentucky didn't hit a 3 the whole first half. Is this the same Kentucky team? I know Shibwe didn't play great, played really well against Michigan State, even though he fouled out in overtime. Is this just another Kentucky team that can't shoot? Are we watching it again?
I don't know.
If Kentucky doesn't go to the Final Four this year, like, at what point with Calipari y'all gonna start holding this man accountable? Like, at what point are the expectations just getting lowered at Kentucky? Oh, Elite Eight, good run, guys. We had a good run. I don't know, man. After watching that before, I know it's one game and it's basketball. But like I said, Michigan just snuck by Ohio. But it is basketball. Sometimes you got to win games like that. That Texas Tech Creighton game.
Yeah, I think
I
Creighton's
tell you
averaging
what.
85 points
Tell
a game.
you what, man.
Roethlisberger.
Tell you what, man.
Bettenberger.
All right, before we get on
Love
out of here,
burgers, man.
let's go to Booster Club.
Booster Club. G. Dougie Wifey 0326 says, thank you for answering my question. You're welcome. Big fan of the college football parody. My husband and I watch college football every weekend, hence the wifey part of my username.
You love to see
There you go.
You keep doing the Lord's work.
Mine over Miller says, if Washington wins and Oregon loses, the Husky would play USC.
Yes.
For the Pac-12.
Which right now, as crazy as this sounds,
I know where you're going.
would you rather see Oregon or Michael Penix Jr.? They play that game in a dome? Pac-12 championship game played in the dome, or they played at the Coliseum?
I think they played in a dome. Let's check it out.
You do not want to play Washington. Either one of these teams.
I don't want to play either
That
one
would
of
be
them.
Let's go
300
to
point.
Matt Dog 275-285-11. What's up, Matt Dog? Everyone said that Texas would whip TCU up front, but it didn't happen. And Frogs whipped the Horns for 60 minutes in the trenches. That's why they play the games, boys. For sure, they thought that.
For sure, but I think Texas and Georgia. I mean, Texas has a bunch of freshman offensive linemen, I believe, that are playing. I mean, you play against Georgia, Ohio State, or Michigan, that's going to be a little bit different than what you saw at Texas, at least right now. But Sark's working on that NIL and that collective to get that changed quickly.
Pac-12 championship game, Allegiant Stadium indoors in Vegas.
Wow, that game is going to be a basketball game, even if it is Oregon USC. So if Oregon loses, which Oregon could lose. All right, the Civil War in Oregon State, Jonathan Smith over there, they're looking for a 10-win season, fellas.
All right, let's go to Travis Elrod, hashtag Ask Crane Company. Tomorrow's my 8th anniversary. What should I do for my wife? What do y'all think, fellas?
8th anniversary on a Tuesday. You know what you should do? You should have one of those big cakes sent to her work, and you should pop out of the cake. That's what you ought to do. You should just pop out of the
Just
cake.
pop out of the whole cake.
Why not? You'll tell the story forever.
Man,
Just don't
8
get her one of
years.
those things where somebody shows up and sings.
No, don't do
It's
that.
like where you open the door and it's like, happy anniversary, he hasn't left you, congratulations, here's $10.
We just had our 3rd last week. I got some prime steaks from that fresh market over by you, actually. Prime steaks. Got some lobster tails as well.
Ooh, look
got
at
some
you.
gnocchi. I don't care for gnocchi so much, but Darby
Reed
loves
loves that
gnocchi.
stuff.
She loves
I didn't even know what gnocchi was. I thought it was like a part of Pinocchio.
All girls love gnocchi, dude.
Yeah, so made a nice little dinner. It was also a weekday anniversary. Also, there were people in the chat talking about that I forgot our anniversary or something. Didn't remember until the show,
You
which
did.
that was false.
That was false.
That was false.
Of course. That would never happen.
Yeah, I told her at 4:30 a.m. That's the anniversary because she was awake.
That's exactly right.
You didn't
Does Darby wake
But
up?
I didn't know if I was gonna say it on the show or not. But then that's when
You wanna
Tom
know
Luganville
something funny?
mentioned something.
So when I get up in the morning and the dogs sleep in the bed with us because it's big enough where they can sleep in it. But when I get up and I'll go shower, get up at 4 a.m, go take a shower, I'll come back. The French Bulldog puppy has realized when I get up, I'm not coming back to lay down. So every time I go back to my spot, the French Bulldog puppy is laying in my spot with her head on the pillow. Like literally every single time. It's smart, you know, I got to respect it.
Warm.
Sometimes you got to show some respect to the game.
Yeah.
Blanya.
Yes, Alex Connors wants to know, what if Prime takes Ole Miss after Lane goes to Auburn?
What if Optimus
What if
Prime
God
takes Ole
was
Miss? I mean, we
we
just need a domino to fall. Something happens so we can kind of
Yeah.
see it. I think Prime would do great at Ole Miss. I think he'd do fantastic.
I think Nick Saban's going to Auburn.
I think
Nick Saban's.
I wouldn't mind, dude, it needs to be Hugh Lane or Prime.
it has to be one of those three.
Who else we going to get?
Everybody's like, Luke Fickle. I'm like,
You already
Luke
know.
Fickle, why would I leave?
Jeff Grimes.
No.
No.
Jeff Grimes.
No.
No.
Dude, Urban's not coming to Auburn, brother.
Okay, he probably won't. I'm telling you who y'all should go get.
You got a poll out there?
I didn't do a poll this morning, guys, to be honest.
That's a
I
lot.
don't believe you.
No. The poll is this. Did I do a poll this morning? Yes or no?
Did you really not do a poll this morning?
I don't know.
Yes.
No.
I didn't do a poll.
Oh.
I didn't do a poll today.
How do you forget to do a poll?
I blame the Booster Club.
No.
How do you go blame
you
him?
got
You see
one
that?
job.
He forgets his one job.
I
and
went
he
through
turns on
poll
y'all.
ideas
Job.
today.
He turns on the booster.
first
One
of all,
job.
I think I have more than one job. That's to put a
No.
poll up. You
Not
have
really.
Poll. That's what.
Poll. What is
Poll.
one. Poll. Did I put a poll out?
Oh my gosh. Just read me a question then.
No. We're gonna sit here in silence. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sit here in silence now. That's what we're gonna do. Go ahead and talk, guys.
Oh
Get
man.
paid for it. Talk it up.
Hold on, I'm double checking.
Yeah, double
Well,
check.
I'm-
There's not a poll in here, bud.
This one smells funny.
Oh, $5 donation from Jimbo Eagle. He says, I'm taking both Jim Brown and Ernie Davis over Archie Griffin. Cam Newton, and Joe Burrow.
Bold.
I mean, Jim Brown.
Sister Riggs says Jake literally gave you the turkey poll.
I mean, literally, dog. I'm handing you that. I threw you an alley-oop on a fast break with nobody there, and you didn't even jump. You thought I was laying it in.
JT Bryan says I gave you a reminder, Blaine.
Goodness gracious. You see what we have to deal with?
See, don't come like don't come back in the latter half of this show and act like y'all gave me
one job.
Oh, Stephen Morse. Hey, this was something I was talking about with my college roommate from before. Stephen Moore says Luke Fickell would be a solid pickup at Auburn. How do you guys feel about Luke Fickell?
Why would I think he's a great coach, but why would he leave Cincinnati?
I know they're about to go to the Big 12.
Yes.
He's an Ohio guy.
Yeah, like now would not leave Cincinnati, come to Auburn and get screamed at.
Sister Riggs says, what? Exclamation mark. You can't blame us. Don't try and blame the Booster Club over
Yes, I can.
That's lazy.
Yes, I can. I'm blaming myself as well, but I'm also blaming y'all.
All right, well, I wouldn't blame you. You know, I didn't know where I was going with that.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Check us out on all social medias. We got one TikTok. It's got like over 5 million right now.
I should have polled about Kirk Cousins, but I always do that.
Our TikTok's at 5 million?
Yeah.
The Kardashian?
one?
The Kardashian curse. That thing's real.
It's 100% real.
Check us out on TikTok.
Yeah, you need to check it out. All right, we appreciate you guys. And like the chances of Blaine remembering to put a poll out, we're gone.